Morning. Welcome to the Pick-A-Dee Pick Show. I'm your host, Anvil. As always, I dedicate this show to my dearly departed friend, Jerry. So today we're going to take our big shot here. Got a $2 million guaranteed pool. $500,000 to first place, as you can see there. Cuts out a few people that we might want to use. I mean, obviously, you're looking at your Chiefs aren't in there. I think another player that I was looking at was Dobbins in Baltimore. He's not going to be available. And if Taylor's good to go in Indy, I think he's a good play. Houston has, allows the second most rushing yards, 154 per game. That bodes well if you're looking for a running back, I'll tell you that much. And I believe Montgomery with Chicago going up against the Lions, who are, allowing the highest rushing touchdown totals, 17, and 4.4 yards a rush, which is pretty good. I mean, not quite getting a first down on 2 rushes, but, that's somebody's giving up 5 yards per carry. That's a team you want to play against. 4.4 ain't bad either. So let's get started here. I was looking at a couple different quarterbacks, not named Mahomes, and so I want to start there. So I want to see what kind of prices we're looking at. Wilson, one of my top picks. He's super expensive. Guy that's really cheap down here. Cousins, he's going up against the worst defense against the pass this week that I think he can really use. I don't think even though Atlanta's pretty bad, I don't want to trust Taysom Hill. Not that he's a bad quarterback, but I don't think he's going to go off. Cousins is way cheap. Wow. That's a huge savings over Russell. I mean, I would love to go back and get Russell Wilson because I think he's going to have a huge game against the Giants. But something in my gut is telling me that I'm right about Cousins. So we're going to put him in. We're going to start framing this ticket. There he is. Look at him. He's in there. That doesn't really take us much over our, we start with 6,600 and we're at 6,500. And we've got our quarterback. He's not averaging a lot. He does, Minnesota's a hard team to trust, but I think this is the game. He's getting back Jefferson and Thielen together. And I also think because Cook is a bit banged up right now, I think they're going to rely on the pass. I think they're going to win it through the air, and Jacksonville isn't going to make it difficult. So let's jump down to defense here because we're going to continue to frame, see what kind of money we have left over. Miami is a top pick this week, going up against the Bungles. Seattle is a huge ad and season long. Saints against Atlanta, I don't buy that at that price. Same thing with the Colts. Same thing with the Rams. I'm playing the Raiders in my season-long fantasy because I like their chances, and there weren't any other better teams available. They are going up against a pretty piss-poor offensive team. There is some considerable savings, but it's only $500 over Miami, and Miami really is just they have a chance to really finish the season strong, probably make the playoffs, maybe go somewhere in the playoffs. 4,900, versus the Raiders. It's a $500 savings, not really much to write home about. Seattle has been playing pretty well lately, and I believe Colt McCoy is going to be starting for the Seahawks, and the Giants do have a battered line. So I personally think we're looking at those 3 teams: Miami, Seattle, and Las Vegas. But we're going to start by saving a little bit of money here, and we're going to go with the Raiders against the helpless Jets. It feels like the Jets are due a win at any point here, and I am afraid that that's going to happen in this game. And the Raiders really aren't putting up a lot of points. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to go with the top team just because I looked at their points per game, and I think we can afford that. So let's put them in there. I want to look at my tight end next because, Waller is, he's a top pick. I mean, he's a good player. It's an obvious pick. The Giants have allowed the highest touchdown totals to tight ends. They've allowed 9 this year. We could save a little money with Hawkinson. A couple other cheaper plays in there. Ingram, Tanyan. I just don't know their actual usage. I mean, it's like Gasicki or whatever, however you pronounce his name. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. I just don't know how much involvement is going to be in the game, and I have a feeling that Waller really has a consistent involvement, and the Jets are just piss poor all around. So we're going to put in Waller for now. If we have to save some money, that's where we're going to come back to. We've got our defense and our tight ends sort of. We save a few bucks here and there, but we'll see what happens as we go along. Put him in there. Jump up here to running back. Start seeing where we're going to splash some money. Now, Cook, I think, is going to get a bit of a rest. Chubb. It's hard to trust some of these other guys down there. Some of these top guys right now. I mean, Henry, I'm sure will have a decent game. Chubb will probably have a decent game. Aaron Jones, I think Philly's going to get beat through the air. Carson, I don't want to get involved in such a giant committee. Kamara is an interesting choice here. He's relatively cheap. And, Atlanta is good against the run. And they may try to stack it against Hill. But I don't really see that working out very well for them. And I think he's going to get a share of dump-off passes. So I feel pretty confident in him. I don't usually like to run into high-ranked defenses, but you know what? I'm not afraid of it right now. I think Atlanta's going to kind of come apart at the seams. I'm going to put him in there. Another guy that was high on my list was right here, James Robinson. Minnesota gives up a lot of yardage. And I think Robinson's going to get a bulk of that. So we're going to put him in, see where that takes us. Our average still sitting around 6,300. Jump over to wide receiver here, see if we can find something. A.J. Brown in Tennessee. Again, I don't know why I'm not a big fan of Tennessee. I don't really know. I've got Lockett going, but Lockett, Metcalf, I mean, it's just a toss-up. I think right now Metcalf has been more consistent. Hopkins here is going to be facing a shutdown corner. I'm not a big fan of that. I am thinking of a double up with either Thielen or Jefferson, but again, you're picking and choosing, trying to figure out, guessing at which guy is going to have the big game, and I'm not a huge fan of that. I really don't like doing that. Javaris Landry has been working out really good. I really like Perriman here. He's going to be our value pick, so let's get him in there. Oakland, not the best secondary out there. So I think Perriman, being that he's one of the only options, I think you should put him in. And we're going to scroll back up here, seeing what we're seeing. Sometimes, when you play these games that have reduced games, it's kind of tough to figure out. It's tough to figure out because you don't have access to every single player. I do like Devontae Adams against Philadelphia at Green Bay. We're going to splash some cash and see where that leaves us. I know it's still sitting at about 5,000 each. That's kind of tricky. I don't know if we want to go the Adams route. I don't know if we want to do that. I think we should play the double up. Let's get rid of Adams. It's costing too much for him. Jefferson's coming back. Thalen's coming back. We are going to... Jacksonville is giving up 8.3 yards a carry. I mean, a catch. Let's get Thielen in there. Yeah, that gives us a little more money to play around with. Now we got to save some money at wide receiver, which I don't really like to do. All right, so we're getting down into the $5 granders here. I really want to try it. Let's see if we could bust something out here. Ooh, Golden Tate going back up against his old team. Keneal Henry. Oh, I don't know about new. Oh, look at that. Josh Gordon. I'm back in the league again. Wow. Well, I don't think we should go with Marvin Hall since he's been released. Yeah, we're getting down here to a lot of names that don't see a lot. Coty would be an interesting, with Fuller out. I don't know if he's going to step up, but he's going up against a good defense. But boy, does he save us some money. He really does save us some money. He doesn't average a lot of points. Let's see what the experts have to say about him right now. Let's try to read between the lines. Yeah, he'll be the number 2. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, Cobb's out. You know what? For the money, I think this is a great shot. This is a great shot right here. That's going to save us some money. What's that going to do for our flex position? That's going to leave us $7 for the flex position. So let's look at that. Let's see what kind of running back we can insert as a flex. And we'll just go to flex here. That makes it easier on the computer to figure out where I want to stick him. What can we buy for our 7,000? So again, we could step up a little bit here. We have Miles Sanders right there. So we know we've got some places where we could save a little bit of money. So what are we going to do here? I think we don't have money really to save in wide receivers. Could do it on a tight end play. But I think it's the Miami. What do we need to get up to Sanders? We need like $200 for Sanders. I like that play. And we can get our $200 with Seattle. So let's go with Seattle. Boom, right there. I think they're going to do good. There we go. Back to flex. Now we can insert. Ooh, again, Thomas is quarterback. Bit of a suspect. Looking at these options right here. Not sure if Eckler's going to have any rust on him. I think Sanders is going to have the game. I mean, you're going to have to run the ball at Green Bay. They're ranked 30th against the run. Great play. Puts us right at the limit. We have $0 remaining. Not always, getting to 0 is never the most important thing. Getting the best players out there is. And I think we may have pulled that off. We're going to have to, these people are going to have to play up to their potential, that's for sure. Coty's a little bit of a sneaky play there. But if we can just even get a touchdown out of him, we're going to get the points. You're going to get a lot of value out of him. So there you have it. That's my entry. I would love to hit this one because it's worth a lot of money. Not much else to say. Quick recap on my season long. Just in case you care to hear a quick story, but got to draft second, got Christian McCaffrey. You know how that went. I got Connor with Pittsburgh. Last week, I had Lamar Jackson and I had Andrews. That didn't go so well. I lost Connor, Jackson, and Andrews, of course, to COVID. It's been a horrendous season. My first season with my job, the company that I work for, had a league, but I didn't get invited until this year. And I made a dog's breakfast out of it, pretty much. Guys like Fournette, really thought I was going to be a solid pick until he got released by Jacksonville. I had Lockett, who got overshadowed by Metcalf. I ran my boy Matt Prater most season. Try to do a little bit of streaming on defense here and there, and sometimes, there's nothing you can do when a guy like McCaffrey, who's, averaging over like 22 points a game, only plays 3 games for you. Not much you can do, but, The thing that I always say is that, daily fantasy is a way that you make money, you satisfy your gambling urge, it's less stress. You don't really have to care about injuries and things like that. But season long fantasy is a different thing. It's a whole different ball game. I mean, it really makes you feel the game. It really makes you feel what it's like to try to run a team, make decisions. With daily fantasy, if you're wrong one week, you can come back strong the next week. But with season-long fantasy, what you do in week 1 matters to week 2, and so on and so on. The waiver wires, doping up those unknown players at the beginning of the season can really pay off. I hope it's not something that goes away. Well, anyhow, till next time, good luck, have fun. Me out of here.